Alright, I think we're live. Let's give this just a second. Okay, we're live now. Hello, everyone. It's been a while. It's been a long while. It's been a hot minute since I've gone live. There's little baby Zay. Say hey, hey, little baby Zay. Uh, we're hanging out in my bed, and my morning time I like to spend with God. But I realized a very real thing was happening. I'm gonna cry. Wow. Um, in all transparency, it's been a really challenging season, just in my family, and I realized this morning a habit that I have. I wake up and I grab my phone. It's the first thing, and it's crazy. I went downstairs to make coffee, and I realized like I'm thinking about my phone. Where's my phone? I wonder. I always put it in airplane mode when I go to bed at night, and because I read or saw somewhere that it helps you sleep, and I was like, yeah, better sleep would be great because got this little one. So sleep is already changing and just different, but I was really bothered by that thought that I was wondering, where's my phone, where's my phone, where's my phone, and I felt this pull and this tension between get in the word and get on your phone, get in the word and get on your phone, and I thought, gosh, I don't like that. I really don't like that at all. So I made my coffee, hung out with my son, nursed him, and talked to God about it. I was like, "What's up with this?" And so I did my little daily devotional. I'm going through this. I love it. If you have daily devotional, you don't have to have one. You're not wrong if you don't. But I like that one. I write out. I read it, meditate on it, think about it, and then I'll go read the scriptures that go with it. And this morning I read the scriptures out loud to him. Just to be like, okay. And then I still was bothered by this. And so I asked God, what is this? What is this more thing? More time. It's like, oh gosh, I want more time with you, especially in the morning, just to set the tone of my day. And I was reminded of the word that he gave me for the year, and it was this. It was more. This is my vision board that I did this year. But before I got that, I just grabbed my journal. I always have my journal nearby when I'm writing and doing my devotionals, and so I wrote more. A confession time. I spend more time on social media than I do in the Word. No wonder my world often feels so backwards, upside down, and inside out. And when this thought came about, I heard God say, even though it was without words, because this morning's devotion was about how He speaks to us, and it's often without words. It's often in the beauty of a sunset or a sunrise. He's speaking to us inside and just showing us His beauty and His glory. So I heard God say without words, through what I imagined was just one of these closed mouths, little raised eyebrow emoji, and heard him say, "What are you going to do about it?" And I laughed, right? Insert excuse coming in. And I said to him, well, not all social media is bad because a lot of the stuff that I look at, the accounts that I follow, are quotes about you and insight to the truth about you. They're quotes, they're insights, they're videos. And I felt like he was like, yeah, sure, all good things. All while knowing inside, although this was true, it was taking me away from him and really letting him come through. I wasn't letting him come in because I wasn't getting in his word. I was getting on my phone. And I was giving that more than I was giving him. And I just felt this word more, more, more. And he was like, remember, that's your word of the year. That's what I gave you. And I wrote, well, God, I want my cake and eat it too. I'm only human. After all, you should know you created me. And thank him that he can handle my sassiness. I said, thank you that you did create me and you can handle my sassiness and you can handle all of me because you already know all of me because you created me. And I felt like he said, yes, I did. A little smile. So I felt like he said, back to my original question, what are you going to do about it? And I was like, well, I could just read the word on social media. And he was like, eyebrows relaxed, mouths of the corner of the mouths kind of turned up, like, okay, that's better. And it led me to the word that he gave me this year again, more. And he reminded me that this, so if I read the word on social media and invite whoever wants to come in and have their cake and eat it too, that's what I can do. Because I heard him ask me, well, what are you going to do? And I was like, well, I want my cake and eat it too. And he was like, cool, then read the word on social media. And I said, I can do that. And he was like, you can do whatever you want. I gave you free will. Remember that? That was a gift I gave you. And I was like, oh, yeah. So, welcome to More. This is live on my personal page, so we're not going to be live on my personal page doing this every day. I am going to create a group called More. Just keep it simple, keep it easy. KISS, right? Keep it simple, stupid. Stupid, simple. Where we just read the word a little bit every day and then we go about our day, and it gets to be that simple. Because then we're going to get more of this. Because I was reading this morning, what was it, in Psalm, because I thought, well, where, right, we have all these questions. I thought, well, where am I going to start? Are we going to start in the beginning of the Bible and read to the end? Should I follow that plan that I followed when I read the Bible last year? Because that was kind of all over the place. And though yes, I read the Bible, I was like, what is this stuff? And he said, start where you are. I thought, okay, it's as simple as that. Start where you are. So I have already started reading the Bible this year from Genesis to Revelation, and I'm in Psalm. I'm in Psalm 37. And in the beginning, I read the Bible. Really, the first time I read the Bible was through the lens of like narcissistic abuse, through like, ooh, the evildoer, ooh, that's the narcissistic one. And although I still am very passionate about that and working with people to transform their internal beliefs about themselves after they've gone through that kind of relationship, uh, it he's revealed to me there's so much more. Yes, you can read the Bible through any lens you want. You can cherry pick verses, and a lot of people do, especially in the online space and manifestation space, which there's so much of. There are verses like this, like the one I read this morning in Psalm 37:4. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. And I was like, ooh, Lord, let me present to you my list. I've got so many desires of my heart. And I realized, oh, no, that's me treating God like a genie in a bottle, right? Like Christina Aguilera, I'm going to rub you the right way because God, I want this and I want it today. I want this Amazon Prime right on time at my house showing up. And that's kind of the world that we live in. And I was like, no, I want more of you and less of that, because I want less of the world that I live in, because the world that we live in is certainly not something that I want more of because of all the things it brings. So he said, well, then just read the word. So I'm going to share this with you guys more before we read. More belief, more connection, more prayer, more gratitude, more direction, more depth, more expansion, more love, more rest, more invest, more belief, more abundance, more containers for him, more rooted, more grounded, more giving, more sharing, more of your power and presence, right, which is God's, not mine, more of his voice, well, his voice is in the Bible, more understanding, more miracles, more reflection, more connection, more vision, more obedience, more surrender, more joy, more laughter, all of this. And I'm so grateful that he said that. Well, they get on this, get on it. And I was like, oh, get on it. Okay, yeah, I need to, which means take action. Stop just letting it mull around in your mind, which is what I realize I've spent so much time doing. And it's been so easy to do because I've had this one to just cuddle and snuggle. But he was like, you can do this. You can do this with him, and you can do this with them, meaning you, people who are watching on the internet. So I'm so grateful that you're here, and I'm so grateful for this space. All it's going to be is just reading the word and maybe diving in and talking about it a little bit each day so that we can have our cake and eat it too. So with that, I'm going to read Psalm 37 because he said start where you're at, and that's where I'm at. And I don't believe in coincidences, or what's the other word? It's not a coincidence. It'll come to me. So, uh, a lot of times when I read the Bible, I'm like, what? What does that say? And you might be that way too. Like Psalm 37. I'm reading out of the ESV, the English Standard Version. Oh geez, I always put stuff in my Bible and it just all fell out. That's okay. Um, my mom gave me a study Bible because I had a really difficult time understanding a lot of what I was reading. And so I like to read and then read the bottom that explains it. And that really, really helps me understand it. So in Psalm 37, it said, he will not forsake his saints of David. And I was like, what does that mean? Okay, just keep reading. And a lot of times I feel like I ask God a question and the answer is simple and basic. Just keep going. Just do the thing. Um, Psalm 37:1, fret not yourself because of evildoers, be not envious of wrongdoers. And I don't know about you, but I think there's always something in life that we can point to that it is was done, is done, or was done from an evildoer or a wrongdoer, and we can be jealous. We can be jealous that it seems like people are not doing the right thing and they're getting everything. And well, we can compare our lives to theirs, and that's the thief of joy. And that's the enemy right there. That's Satan right there. Satan came to kill, steal, and destroy, and he's the thief of joy. And there's a song that just came to mind, "The Joy of the Lord is my strength." And I love that. So you're going to hear me that just have songs come to mind all the time because that's just the way God speaks to me. So not envious of wrongdoers. And I think there's a lot of things going wrong in the world, because there are, but we can be envious because it can look and appear and seem to be that those people are getting ahead and they're getting all the things. And I feel like Jesus says, "Eyes on me." One, two, three, eyes on me. And then we read verse 2, "For they will soon fade like the grass and wither like the green herb." And I was like, what does that mean? Well, if you're in Arizona like me, maybe you're not, maybe you are, but either way, we go through seasons. It's summertime here, and if you didn't plant that summer grass, that winter grass, it fades away because it gets scorched by the sun. It gets burned up, and there's so many references in the Bible about it getting scorched and burned. Or if you live somewhere where it's cold and it's snowy most of the year, the winter covers it up. So it's going to fade. The grass is going to fade, and something else will take its place. Maybe it's dirt because it's super hot. Maybe it's snow because it's cold. Either way, it soon will fade. And then I loved verses 3 and 4. "Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness." And I thought, okay, trust in the Lord and do good. And then I heard myself say to him, well, that's really hard sometimes. It's really hard. And he said, I know. That's why it's worth it. That's why it's worth it. Because if it was easy, you wouldn't think it was. I thought, okay. And do good, meaning take action. Do is an action word. It's a verb. Go do, right? When when Jesus left and he ascended seven up to heaven, and he sent his Holy Spirit, he said, go and make disciples of all the nations. That's what he told them. And so go and do are action words. They're verbs. They're things that we need to get off our butt and do. Just like he said that to me this morning when I said, well, what am I supposed to do? Right? I feel this pull of wanting to grab my phone, and I also feel the pull of wanting to just get in your word and share it. And he said, well, do both. Have your cake and eat it too. So here we go. "Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness. Delight yourself in the Lord." And I thought, oh, not the things of the world. So don't grab my phone, or I can, and I can still be with you. Have your cake and eat it too. Okay, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. And I got excited about that because I was ready to pull out my genie in a bottle list and say, well, here's the desires of my heart. And then I read the text below in Psalm 37. So it says, some take the desires as referring to feeling of desire, i.e., God will shape your heart so that it desires the right things. But the sense is rather, because a lot of times it's not at face value. It's metaphorical. It's a picture. It's an image. It's not so much a feeling. It's something deeper, something more that's there. And so when we really sit with this and we really take the time with it, and we don't just scroll past it, then we really, really get what God is sharing and what God is speaking. So the sense is rather, he will give you what your heart desires. It is safe to say this to those who embrace the advice of this psalm, because as they delight themselves in the Lord, their hearts will desire the right things. And I don't know about you, but for me, when I'm going through something difficult, I desire that vengeance. I desire that it's a selfish desire. It's what I want, and I focus on the smaller, more immediate picture instead of panning out and seeing the bigger picture. And we have to remember that that's what God is. He's above all. He transcends space and time. So he's not looking at it like through this little dime size lens. He's looking at it from his perspective. And that's sometimes hard to trust him because we can't see it. But when we can know that he sees it and he loves us and he's got our best interests in mind and at heart. Oh, you want to share too? Do you want to share too? Then we delight ourselves in the Lord, and our hearts will desire the right things because they'll become the things that he desires. So we let him in to completely transform us from within, and we stop making it about what we want immediately, like Amazon Prime delivery. We start making it about the I remember one time I had a girlfriend who said to me, it's actually when I first started dating my husband, and advice I wish I would have listened to. Things would be different, but it's okay because God works all things for the good of those who love him. But she said, hey, slow roast, not ramen, meaning take it slow, take your time. A slow roast takes time. Or pot roast, something like that, meaning like you put it in a crock pot and it cooks for hours, not ramen, which is ready in a microwave in 2 minutes. Because when things are fast, when things are rushed, then they get messed up a lot of the times because we cut corners. We're wanting it instantaneously, we're wanting it immediately, and that can change things. But this psalm speaks to me when it says, delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. And there's a lot of passages in the Bible that say, wait on the Lord. That waiting, if you imagine a crock pot of a roast cooking, you're waiting. You're waiting for 8 hours. But as you're waiting, you start to smell just how amazing it smells. And if you've ever smelled oh, my eyelashes just got stuck together. If you've ever smelled a pot roast cooking, it smells a lot better than ramen cooking in the microwave. So when we delight ourselves in the Lord, it's like that sweet essence, like that sweet, sweet smell, like that amazing, incredible smell where you're still waiting, but you can't wait to taste it. You know, just by the smell of it, it's going to be so, so good. And I imagine that that's what it's like when we delight. When we delight in the Lord, we're in the waiting and we know it's going to be so, so good. It's going to be worth the wait. It's going to be worth it. And you do get the desires of your heart, but you get the right desires of your heart. You get the desires of your heart because you're in the Lord. So your desires are the right things. They're not the instantaneous, immediate things that you get. And I feel like that's what God said. That's actually what you want more of. Isn't he precious? Isaiah. His name's Isaiah. When we were pregnant, we kept seeing verses around Isaiah. So his name's Isaiah. For many reasons we're not going to get into in this video today. But this is where I wanted to start. This is what I wanted to share. So each and every day, we're going to go through like just a couple verses and maybe speak more to it. And invite you to just meditate on it. We'll end at Psalm 37:5 that says, commit your way to the Lord, meaning my way. I'm like, here's my way. And a lot of times I get into the state of it being my way or the highway, and that's not God's way. We got to say, my way, I want to be your way, God. So commit our ways to the Lord, and he's going to convict us. He's going to say to us, hey, I mean, you can go do that. You can go do whatever you want, but is that really what you want? And then we get all Spice Girl on him. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. And I think he laughs and he's like, okay, I'm just going to sit back. Because the Lord is relaxed. He's not rushed. He's literally got all the time in the world. Dun, dun. I feel like that's a mic drop. So commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him and he will act. So act again is another verb. It's another action word. He will act. He will make a move. He will give you the desires of your heart. But we've got to trust in him. And I realize a lot of times when I'm honest with myself and I remove the lies, and the fastest way to remove the lies inside is to get into his word, I'm trying to be God. I'm trying to play God in my own world. I'm trying to control things. I'm trying to navigate things. I'm trying to move this over here and put that over there because I want it my way. Right? Is that Backstreet Boys or NSYNC? I want it my way. I don't know. Backstreet Boys, I think. But when we commit our ways to the Lord and we trust in him, he will act. What does it say for that? Oh, it doesn't. That's annoying. Okay, it doesn't have the description below. I love, it doesn't have it for every verse, but I love when it does. But it's pretty simple and basic, so it's probably like, what explanation do you need? It's pretty basic, don't you see? And I was like, oh yeah, it really is. See, sometimes we're looking for more. Sometimes we're looking for more of an explanation. And he's like, you don't need one. That's hesitation. That's doubt. That's I don't know. Tell me more. What does that mean? And he's like, you know exactly what it means. Commit yourself to me. I feel like it's what he says. Trust in him and he will act. And if he were saying that back, he'd be saying, trust in me and I will act. And then we can go, oh yeah. It's as simple as that. So I'm excited for this. It's something that is going to be simple, easy, take 10 or 15 minutes a day. Today was a little bit longer because of this intro and explanation. I don't know if you'll always get to stare at this cute face, but maybe. We'll see. But if you want to, you can come join us inside more. I'm going to make a group for it so we can not have this on my personal page every day, but have it inside the group. And feel free to write comments, feel free to write insights, awarenesses, breakthroughs, share what you hear God speaking to you, so we can come together in more connection, more community, more of the Word of God, and have our cake and eat it too. Be on social media and in the Word. All right, you guys, I love you. That is it for today. Thank you so much. I'm really excited for this. Thank you, God, for this.